Is it still possible to actually be able to make $10,000 a month with residential assisted living, given the fact that cost of living has gone up, the cost of staffing has gone up, and just the overall day-to-day items that are necessary to keep operations going have gotten so much more expensive? So in this video, I'm going to talk about that. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. What's going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my recurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that each and every single one of you have shown me. And if you have not yet, make sure to go check out legionassistedlivingacademy.com, where I teach how to start your own residential assisted living facility from A to Z. Also, you can book a one-on-one mentorship call there. You could also book a full day with myself and ongoing monthly mentorship. And then you could also go and purchase like the Performa template, the residency agreement template, all these other items that I have in resources there. And if you are actually looking to passively invest into this space, feel free to reach out to us at valleyalfventures.com, or if you're an operator looking to expand your operations and are looking to potentially have us come in and purchase the real estate to lease back to you with the option to purchase at a later date, that is also something that we do. Or if you're looking to potentially sell your assisted living facilities, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to have a conversation. And now that the housekeeping is all out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. Now, is $10,000 a month profit still something that can actually be feasible and achieved with residential assisted living? And the answer to that is obviously it really depends on where you're looking to start and how many beds you can actually achieve in certain states and cities that you're trying to actually start your residential assisted living. Now, location is ultimately the thing that will determine if that's going to be feasible. And just like anything in real estate, location is truly key to having a successful experience, whether it be with residential assisted living, whether it be with real estate investing, and just starting any type of business, especially in a business that will require you having real estate. And so with residential assisted living, the real estate component is a very important component of being successful and achieving this $10,000 per month net profit. Now, there are a lot of states where, especially on the West Coast, you're limited to 6 beds. And what do you mean by 6 beds, you may ask, is how many beds you can actually get in a single family residence or a single family home. And the problem with the 6-bed model is that ultimately you're gonna be affected by 1 or 2 residents passing away, moving out, only being there for respite stay, whatever the case may be. You're down to just 4 residents. And if you are not charging the right rates that need to keep you at least a break even, you will literally be in the red once you fall down to, get down to 4 residents in total. And you don't want to give yourself that type of margin when it comes to running any type of business. If you are at an 80% occupancy and you're barely breaking even, anytime you fall below that, you're gonna be in the red and you're ultimately gonna be losing money until you can get at least back to break even and then to profitability. And so you do not want to do that. And that is the issue with a 6-bed model. Now, with the 10-bed model that is very popular here in the state of Arizona, and then also the 16-bed model in states like Ohio, even also Texas and states like that, where if you have a big enough single family residence, you can get up to 16 beds. Now, depending on if you're doing just all private pay versus 70% private pay and 30% shared, depending on the model that you're doing there, you're giving yourself at least enough margin to be able to sustain any type of vacancies or drop in occupancy. And with the 10-bed to even 16-bed model, that is still achievable to get to 10K a month. With the 6-bed model, it's very difficult to reach that 10-bed profitability in net profit every single month, especially if you're in certain areas where you're not able to charge anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 per month per bed. And usually in California, and where you see a lot of 6-bed models, is California, Oregon, and Washington. And in those states, if you're not in those more affluent areas where you can charge $8,000 to $10,000 per month per bed, you're likely not going to be able to achieve a $10,000 to $15,000 profit every single month, because of the fact that, again, like I said, if you are charging less than that and you have a resident or two move out, you're not going to be able to sustain the debt service that you likely have on a piece of real estate in those types of states, and then also, or mortgage for that matter, and then also the staffing requirements, right? You cannot, a lot of those states are very, very strict, and most states are, with the W-2 employees that you have, the taxes that you have to pay on payroll, so on and so forth. So these are all things to literally keep in mind when it comes to starting any type of assisted living facility. But yes, can you achieve the 10K to 15K per month? You can, you certainly can, but you also have to be in states where you can have anywhere from 10 to 16 beds. And I don't recommend ever starting anything less than that. And if you are in states like California, Oregon, and Washington, you certainly can achieve those numbers, but you also have to factor in the areas that you're gonna be able to be in to achieve a 10 to 15K thousand, or $10,000 to $15,000 profit margin for your facility. And so if you are in the states like California, Oregon, or Washington, really try to achieve getting into those affluent areas. If you're in states like Arizona, Texas, Ohio, you still want to go and achieve the affluent areas. But if you are doing similar models to like Medicaid, or you're in a very niche type of market as far as taking care of individuals with dementia, Alzheimer's, developmental disabilities, things of that sort, your margins are going to probably be higher just because you're in that type of niche. But there's a lot of caveats that come with that. Most individuals that are getting into this, and that's probably you watching this video from the beginning, you're not going to be able to just get into those niches right away. That takes time to develop those types of relationships, the right opportunities, the right type of connections to be able to get more niche within the space. So most people will try to go and open just a private pay facility to start with, because the barrier of entry is a lot lower. And then you work towards maybe getting Medicaid contracted with, a couple other providers with Medicaid. And then eventually you work through trying to get certain programs. Like in California, you got the ALW programs, where these are really great programs, but those just take time to get filed and get properly approved and then start the billing. So again, most of you try to go the private pay, which is what I would recommend right off the bat. Once you do get the private pay going, the private pay is where the location is going to be absolutely critical for you to get right. And so I want to encourage you all, yes, you can still achieve the 10 to 15K profit per month with residential assisted living, but make sure you book either a consulting call with me or with other individuals within your area, and just make sure you're running these things by them prior to you going and just securing a property without really doing much due diligence into what makes sense for that area and what types of rates that area can actually support for you to actually be this profitable. So if you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to like and comment down below. Make sure to share with other individuals. But again, feel free to book a one-on-one mentorship call with me if you have additional questions on if an area makes sense for you to achieve this 10 to 15K profit per month. And I will certainly let you know. It will save you a ton of headache and money, making sure that you actually secure a location that makes sense. So with all that being said, I will talk to you all in the next video.